Well, we've been saying this was coming. I've done 3 videos in the last year about P. Diddy and the crimes he's been accused of, and the feds have finally come after him. 2 properties owned by Sean Diddy Combs have been searched by federal agents as part of an ongoing sex trafficking investigation. His homes in LA and Miami were raided on Monday. Now, this wasn't just a small operation. There was dozens and dozens of officers. We've got boats, we've got helicopters, we've got drones. They didn't pull out the stops for nothing here. They've definitely got a lot, and they're looking for a lot more. Now, as I'm making this video, they don't have Diddy in custody. They do have his sons. They've got people who work for him being questioned right now. The last time he was spotted was near Miami Airport, where he's pacing back and forward. TMZ, of course, got the footage. And his own private plane has actually been tracked in Antigua. Now, we don't know if he has gone on the plane to escape and just left his sons to pick up the check. It's looking bad, right? And you'd think it's P. Diddy. They're going to grab him soon, and maybe by the time this video out, they'll have him. And the point is, he's fucked. We've been knowing this was coming, but maybe he's trying to limit how fucked he is, because there's a lot of speculation that the reason the plane left may be that there was vital evidence already on there. It would appear that he got some kind of tip-off, and we know, going back for decades, he's had people within the police working for him, and it just so happened he managed to not be there when they came for him. There's every chance that some of the valuable evidence could have already been destroyed, or could have been on that plane to go and be destroyed at a later date. This is a video of P. Diddy the night before, looking nervous at a Hollywood event, not looking as usual, calm and composed self, giving a look over the shoulder there. And interestingly, P. Diddy's neighbor, who was exiting the scene as all the reporters had gathered around his home, had this to say.
I live right next to him. He do too much. It be like buses, like big ass buses. You just see all type of shit hop out. Especially at nighttime, like around 3 o'clock in the morning, it gets wild. I'm his neighbor.
He's clearly saying that there's a lot of people coming in and out late night, and this sort of plays into everything we've been talking about on previous videos about P. Diddy. Keefe D, the guy who was involved in Tupac's murder, basically pointing the finger at P. Diddy, saying he put me up to it. The Cassie case, which he settled immediately for like 30 million, where she said not only did he rape and beat her, he deliberately got her addicted to drugs through the coercion of control that he had over her. He then would basically tell her that she had to sleep with other men for his entertainment, and just destroyed this woman. And it wasn't the first time. The bodyguard of P. Diddy from back in the day said he would regularly beat women. Kim Porter, who the bodyguard said knew everything about P. Diddy and was writing a tell-all book, suddenly died, and whatever was in that book was never found, never discovered. And then just recently, we've got this music producer who said that P. Diddy would say and do anything he could to get this guy to agree to have gay sex with him. I'm talking promising him money, Grammy Awards, the lot. That same music producer said that he would see P. Diddy drug the girls, and he was actually involved in that as well. So maybe the feds have gone directly to him because he was on the instruction of P. Diddy drugging these women, getting the drugs, so that they could then have these sex-crazed parties where all his rapper mates would come round and fuck all these girls. And, you know, allegedly, some of these girls were underage. Oh, and by the way, the whole thing was being videoed on CCTV and hidden cameras and all that. So when you've got all these famous people coming, you're then getting them into compromising situations. You've got the evidence. You can then control them in a very similar way that they say Jeffrey Epstein did to a lot of his powerful friends. That's before you even get to the fact that the same music producer took pictures of a scene of a crime where P. Diddy, just a couple of years ago, I think this was, shot a guy and nearly killed him. We're dealing with a lunatic here. This is abundantly clear. And remember, in that case, the guy alleged that people like Usher, Chris Brown, Meek Mill were all involved in these parties. You know, if the feds are running around searching for tapes, videos and phones and all of this, these other celebrities who could be implicated in this will be shitting themselves. And just like Jeffrey Epstein, the worry now is for those powerful people who are involved with P. Diddy. If he does get caught, he's then likely, because of the way this man is, to sing like a fucking canary. And there's people speculating that he knows stuff about Jay-Z and Beyonce and other very powerful people he's connected to. Most importantly, Clive Davis, who is one of the most powerful people in the music business. Apparently, he was the one who helped set up P. Diddy from day one when he went solo and created Bad Boy Records. This man's like in his 90s. He's been surrounded by the most powerful people in the music industry and would have been in the strongest position to do do whatever he wanted to people who were vulnerable, who needed his help. And a lot of people are pointing fingers saying, what's going to come out about him now? Because there's a lot of rumors about this guy, like he was very close to Whitney Houston, dated women for many, many years, then all of a sudden he's bisexual. There's things people are expecting to come out about him. I've got no idea, I'm not suggesting anything, but it's going to get interesting. Because logically, what we know is probably the tip of the iceberg, because the feds don't show up armed like that, with that level of heavy artillery, for nothing. Now, from everything we've read about Diddy, it's quite clear that he is a predator, and the fact that he's filmed so much of it means he's planning on keeping that. And that could be his fucking downfall here, because if they get their hands on all of this material, and there is underage drugged up girls in there, people who are willing to testify that they were forced into this situation, because people always like to act like coercion is a very grey area. And I understand why, but from everything we've learned, he is a bully. He is someone who forces people to do what he wants. And it feels like everything is pointing to a conviction here already. There's just too much smoke. What's seriously ironic is that he once filmed a getaway on an aeroplane as the police chase him. This is so fucking mental. The cops are coming, he's hopping on his plane, and the plane takes off over the police cars. It's almost like he knew this was coming. And now we've got weird little videos of him and Justin Bieber together when Justin Bieber was a kid, where he's saying some like strange stuff.
You know, where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher. It's
just weird. And look, we now know that Diddy is a full-blown predator and is into men. Would anyone be shocked if it was boys as well? He craves power. I don't even think P. Diddy, from everything I'm learning about him, it's really about whether it's men or women. It's actually a lot like a Jimmy Savile case, this. It's about the power. And we might be looking at a new Jimmy Savile type situation where this man just wants to be in complete and utter control over everyone in his vicinity. And the weirdness that the record producer who worked for him talked about, where people would wear these little bum bags in his mansion where they'd be fully stocked with drugs, so that at any point of the fucking day, a servant walking past, give me some of them drugs, come on. Like, it's just mental what we're dealing with here. And the funny thing is this guy was never the real talent, really. You know, Biggie was the talent, his artists were the talent. This man is nothing more than a leech on the people who made him. He's finally going to get his fucking comeuppance. Now, we have seen rappers speculate that he may try and take his own life, because the last thing Diddy wants is to end up behind bars. He'd rather be dead. He hasn't got the balls for it, is basically what one of them said. And look, from everything I've read, they're all going to be victims, and they deserve fucking justice. So I really hope that they can get their hands on this guy, because it's clear from everything I've read, he's a piece of shit. And it really is about time that sex trafficking from men in positions of power is taken seriously, because a lot of the internet would like you to believe that it's the Matrix, and oh, this isn't, and none of the, what is coercion? Women have free will. No, they fucking don't, when they've got a powerful man in front of them who can bully them, control them, and punish them into submission. This is a real thing, and hopefully this might make people wake the fuck up about the reality of sex trafficking. Interestingly, Diddy's arch nemesis back in the day, Suge Knight, who is in jail himself as a record producer who couldn't stay on the right side of the law, has claimed that the police raids today weren't for Diddy, it was to destroy the incriminating stuff on powerful men. And I think he's suggesting even higher up than where Diddy is. And look, it's quite possible, and if so, we won't find out, but we will keep an eye on this story on the True Geordie YouTube channel. I'll do an update as and when. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the True Geordie YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.